Good morning. Good morning. Doing a little channel takeover, a little taking over of the channels. At least this morning here in California, I should say. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited. Doing a little channel takeover over here of Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. So, welcome to our Cuppa Catch Up and Cards, the Abundant Life Tarot edition. So, let's get this party started. This early morning party over in California, although I know it is 5 o'clock somewhere for those who might be watching. So, welcome, welcome. I'm just going to give it a couple of more minutes here, as Simon would say. I feel like Simon's space. Simon's space. This is exciting. Get my chat. Sure. YouTube. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird watching me. This is a channel takeover, just so you all know. Yes, you have come to the right place for this cuppa. Let me tell you, I have my cuppa right here. And I'm so excited to be here today. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Can I see the live on here? Yes. All right. So how's everyone doing? Good morning. I am out of my element with doing lives, I'll tell you that, but we'll make it work. Looking forward to chatting with you all. So let's get started with some hellos. And let's see. Oh my goodness. There's the comments. Well, hello. And I was like, there they are. Hi. I know. Like, it's so good to see all of you all. It really is. Yes, Kim's Cave. It's Kim's Cave today. I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this, even though I'm usually quite terrified of such things. How's everyone doing? Oh, there's new chats. How do I do this? Okay. Checking out the chats. I was hoping I could see it on my tablet, but oh well. Hello, hello. So we've got as I'm going to try to channel Simon here. So let's do our good mornings here. So we've got Toadstool Tarot, Naomi, hi. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Elizabeth. Hello, Curious Me. Oh, I like that. Hi, Becca. Hi, Stray Cat. Oh my gosh, I love that. Hello, Somewhere in Time Tarot. Hi, Red Bean Bee and Melissa. Melissa Zupin. Yay! I'm so glad that you're here. And then we've got Jen's Balanced Tarot up in the house. Hello, hello. Ooh, Water Child Tarot. Good morning. Good morning, Book White. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Hi, Elizabeth. I know she's like, what? Who's taking over? As long as we can talk in cards, right? OMG. It's I know. L, hi. Yes, it's true. I wonder what time it is for you all. Hi, Jackie. Hello, hello. I know I feel like I'm saying hello over and over again. Sorry. Like elemental cartomancy. Oh, why, thank you. Thank you, thank you. OMG, it's so much fun to be here. Hi, Kimberly Meyer. Hi, Kelly Bear. So yeah, I'm just kind of going through, saying our hellos, welcoming everyone. Hi, Misty's House of Tarot Cards. OMG, I love these names though. Okay, going through. Okay. All right. Just doing our good mornings. And so, yeah, I am, let me do this, going to just take over the programming today. Simon was so lovely to have me come and do a channel takeover. And I was like, are you sure? But he said yes. So it's too late. He can turn back. Can't take it back now. And so I know folks may have questions or comments. So I will do my very best to kind of go back and look and answer and make sure I do that throughout this little live session we've got going. And it, like I said, it's 8 o'clock here. So it's still morning. So I'm also caffeinating. So there's, there's a lot of coffee in this cup. So the fun things that I wanted us to do today. First, I was going to do a little game, but I think I'm going to switch it. I have a little game for us. I wanted to see what decks are people getting ready to use for the seasons change. So I know we have, for the Northern Hemisphere, we have fall, and we have for the Southern Hemisphere, we have spring. And so what I did was I gathered a gang of decks to represent those two seasons, because let me tell you, I'm looking forward to the change of the seasons. And I normally not one of those people, and I'm also am normally not one of those people that uses the decks, what do you call it? Season changes. But my collection grew to such a point that it made sense to start to work with my decks in a seasonal way. And then with, the pandemic and then the fires, all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, fall needs to hurry up and come on. So it's going to be here next week. And then spring for my peeps in the Southern Hemisphere. So I have a few decks for you all as well. So before we move on, I got to check out the chat. So, okay. Hi, Melissa. So yes, the Halloween, you know what? Me too. The Halloween tarot, I don't have. Surprisingly, there are decks that I actually don't have. And I was thinking about it too. Every Halloween, actually, that comes around, I'm like, what deck am I going to use? So why don't we just dive on in, shall we? A channel takeover. Yep, that's right. Real simple. Let me see. Oh, it scrolls so fast, I couldn't even keep up. Real simple. Yes, it is a channel takeover. It is. And someone can, I'm going to put the invitation out there to those who might want to take over. And we do a situation like that on my channel, because Lord knows I could not do it live without Simon, for sure. So it takes a village sometimes. It really does. Okay, why don't we start with the oracles first? Because that's what's closest to me. And so we'll start with some oracle. I have some mass market, because I've been really into mass market lately. I don't know why, just is what it is. But I have those, and then I have a few indie decks to discuss. I think, there's like one oracle indie, and then quite a few indie tarot. So let me get out of there. So first up, we have Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray, artwork by Lily Moses, produced by Hay House. So y'all know this deck. I really like it. And truth be told, I only pull it out around this time of year. I'll pull it out every now and then, but I usually, since I've owned it for I don't know how long it's been out. Here's the backs. It's so pretty. If all the matte is, like if they're going to do matte decks, Hay House should definitely stay on that bandwagon. Don't ever go back to gloss. They're not allowed. They're just not allowed. You know, because there are some high-end independently produced decks that are glossy that actually stand the test of time. And, you know, not all gloss is created equal. So this is one I'm going to pull out for fall, like my early part of fall. And you know what? I know you all are like really well versed with like Mabon and like all the beautiful Wheel of the Year stuff. And I always get so educated in these lives about that stuff. That's why I also decided to do this subject, because I'm like, ooh, I bet people have lots of good suggestions for fall decks that I can also either shop in my library now or put on my wish list for next year. So this is just a hay house deal. And I think for me, it's because of the colors. So there's that. I'm gonna pop in a minute to check on the chat. You know, it's funny that I'm doing this on my phone, which I couldn't get my laptop together. So now I'm landscaped, you guys, and now I'm also having to strain my eyes. So if you see me leaning in, looking at the comments, that's the reason why. Sorry. I'm learning. Okay, so the next one, the next oracle we have is Dark Mirror Oracle cards by Laura Sava. This is a low scarabeo, and you probably, a lot of you probably have it. Some of you guys either really hate it or you love it. And I also really only use this deck since I've owned it around this time of year, like around Halloween. It's a great shadow deck, but let me tell you, not everyone is ready for these images, clients, I should say, and not everyone is necessarily ready for the messages. I mostly use this deck for myself or for clients I know who said, no, give it to me. I want it raw, the shadow reading you're gonna do for me. Those are the ones I pull this one out. When I first got this deck, I will admit I was turned off by this cutoff. You see this? These cutoffs. I called them, I think in my video, on my unboxing, I called it 1970s mirror. You know, if you grew up and your parents were like mine, they had these mirror cutouts from the 70s on the wall. Anyways, that's what that looked like to me, and I hate it. Let me go to the comments, their chat. Let's go to the chat. Oh my goodness. Hi, Patrice. Thank you for asking about the fires. So great. Like a few days ago, I could start to see like blue skies peeking through. And I was like, the prayers are working, folks. Thank you all so much for your prayers, your thoughts, and your kind, kind words. I was like starting to freak out. I don't normally freak out with the fires, but sometimes when they start to get a little close, or when I get super sensitive over people like losing things, and I guess that's the empath in me. And then I also get very upset about all the loss of like life, the trees, the animals who now don't have a home, they're displaced. And so I get all up in my feelings. Let me scroll through and make sure I'm not missing any questions, because I see there's questions. Okie dokie. Oh, you all are so awesome. Okay. Oh, yes, the Dark Mansion. I don't have that one. I missed out. And then, of course, my death year came. So then I was like, can't even look. Can't even look. All right. So Wildwood Tarot. Nice. Ooh, Marielle. It's been on my wish list forever, to the point now we're now in several editions and whatnot. I really now want the first edition because I want the original cards. Can you believe that literally there are some big time decks I don't have? Oh, this, okay. The Shadowland Tarot is on my wish list for sure. I almost treated myself to it this week. But y'all, try to be strong in this death year. But it was on my wish list for a long time. So I technically could justify getting it. Okay, let's see. I love the Shadowland. I saw it. I got to hold it and play with it when I was at the Northwest Tarot Symposium in March before COVID-19 really kicked off. And it was so, I was so impressed with what Schiffer Red Feather did in terms of the packaging, that it was still this, the stock or the feel of the cards were nice. It was like gilded. I was just impressed. And then it just was super cute. And then a couple of my friends, like Linda, who was also at, she was also at the Northwest Tarot Symposium, and she also let me touch and play with her decks. That's the cool thing about symposiums and tarot conferences and all that good stuff. So anyways, let me keep going. Ooh, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I am starting to check that out. And you guys have to be honest and let me know what you think. Yes, there's some technical difficulties, y'all, for Simon. No, I'm just kidding. It was piracy. I'm taking over, No, I'm just kidding. All right, so. I'm so happy, Patrice, that you're here too. And then you're getting the big love that I'm sending y'all's way, because that's what I'm doing. All right, so I'm gonna keep going. Look at this obsession. So can you kick me back? I kicked myself. Thank you. Sorry, I kicked myself out. Like, so I was like, what are you doing? Kicking myself out. That's all. There's a lag. Simon's like, how'd you do that? So anyways, this deck, I really actually was surprised by. I was worried. Los Scarabeo has this little guidebook. It is in additional languages, but they at least have a guidebook. And it's not that bad of a guidebook. So if you're wondering about a deck that you'd like to add to your collection for this season, go right ahead and do that and check it out, because it's great for shadow work, but you could get away with not having to do shadow work with it. Speaking of more shadow work, we have the Magic of You Oracle. This is a Rockpool Publishing deck by Fiona Horn. Again, I think it's the moody colors for me. This one is more, even though it's got, dare I say, some very evocative images and sometimes disturbing, it actually is a hug deck for me. Orenda, honor your mystical creative force. And so I was surprised by that. I had wanted this deck a long time once I had figured out that it was coming out. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh. I can't pronounce it. Ubuntu, compassion for others. This was a big card for me. I'm not afraid to admit. This is a disturbing one. Look at that. And translucence. All right. Next. Rockpool Publishing did a great job with this one. I like that they got smaller in size as opposed to keeping them kind of big. I like the smaller the better for Oracle for me, honestly. Let's put these to the side. Next, The Wisdom of Natural Hair. Again, probably the color palette is what's the choice here, but also because I do want to incorporate this deck into my collection, or not into my collection, my practice for this season. And you can kind of see this says, for your hair. I'm trying to see the chat. That one's cute. Trying not to get glare. It's like that end of the summer, beginning autumn feel to me. Keep yourself balanced. Detangle the situation. Oh, that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. As within, so without. With some Cuppa Phoenix and Young Natural Love. It's pretty. Those are pretty. Oh, one more. Share your wisdom. Oh my goodness. I like that a lot. All right. Moving along. I'm going to pause in a moment to do a little chat checkup. But then we can't let this season go by without this one, the Halloween Oracle. This one makes me smile every time I look at it. Stacy DeMarco, this is Blue Angel. And just, I don't know, I just love it. I don't know, it's such a good reader. Everyone says it. Here's the facts. Everyone says it. You'll be hard pressed to find someone who might hate that. You might be hard pressed. This one definitely gets me in the mood for, like, obviously it's the Halloween Oracle, duh. But just the season, because actually this deck, I use it from now until winter. And you really could use it all year round if you're one of those folks who's like always into that dark, like gothy kind of feel. But like I said, I got so many decks, I really have to use them seasonally. So let me check out the chat so far. Let's get to the chats. Let me not kick myself out. Let's see what we're doing. Let's see. Okay. Yes. Oh, I like that there's questions. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, I'm looking at people chit-chatting. Okay. And then Roman has a question that's off topic. You just had a lovely little bird visitor land on your outside door frame and knocked on the wood part and flew off singing. Any thoughts? You know what I do when I have like those little happenstances, those little moments, is I'll throw a card and I'll say, is this, what are the energies surrounding that? Was that moment? Was this a sign? Or was it just a bird that just happened? And sometimes the cards will tell me, sometimes I'll use my magical dice to ask. Like I have my little dice. Hold on. That I made. You guys are like, I'm such a kid at heart sometimes. So I made dice, magical dice. And they have different messages. So it'll be like, yes, no, definitely, maybe. Got seasons and numbers to tell me, like seasons, years, days, weeks, months. That's one die. And this has a couple of dies with straight up numbers. So then I could be like, oh, this is going to happen in 3 weeks, or oh, this is going to take 2 seasons, or blah, blah, blah. So could be something magical. It could totally be a sign. And another way I tell is if I get kind of like an intuitive, goosebumps that kind of just shiver. And some people are like, that is just straight up a bird at the door. But no, literally, I like to see if there's some sort of reason that happened. Because I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe that we experience things for a reason. And we should explore throwing a card for that. So here's the guidebook for the Halloween Oracle. Yeah. Honestly, you could get along. Oh, it's got spreads too. You can get along without the guidebook because you get enough information with the keywords. Spider, it says community, and web weaving. Kind of like what we're doing, building community. So yeah, we might use this deck, maybe, because I gotta show some of my spring decks to to honor the Southern Hemisphere. So those are that. Oh, I'm just going to do a couple of honorable mentions. The Literary Witches Oracle is one I do plan on doing some more deep diving into. It feels part Oracle, part Lenormand to me. It's not just because it says witches and that makes it a Halloween deck. It just so happens that I'm like, I have had this deck for a while. I think it's beautiful, especially for a mass market. Here's a little guidebook. And there's so many decks, honestly, folks, that I just don't get a chance to play with, or I don't get a chance to really get to know. And I try to use these seasonal changes as an opportunity to use them. And a couple of our folks in the community here, one I'm thinking of in particular, actually has something going on with this deck that I'm finally, oh my gosh, I'm so happy, so happy. I am going to take some time off from my, as you guys call it, muggle job as my real life job. Take a little bit of time to collect my soul. And so I'm going to catch up on some YouTube stuff. And I'm going to deep dive into this deck because I know we've got some cool stuff going on about it. Oh my goodness. And one more spider. It's kind of hard with my crazy lighting. Anyway, so yeah, gonna get to know that one a little bit better. I think it's our lovely Kelly there gets that going for us. So I will be checking that out. Finally, I can catch up on life. All right, let's check out one more and then, no, two more. Because they really are like honorable mentions I kind of have to talk about. So first of all, Divine Muses Oracle comes in this cute little bag. Marie Bento is the creator, and she's amazing. She's amazing, amazing, amazing. I wonder. Oh, I did break my deaf ear to order the Lua Tarot, but I met her at the Northwest Tarot Symposium too, and I kind of made a promise that I was going to pre-order her deck when it came out. I was feeling love of that deck, and because she had a sample of the Lua Tarot at the symposium. And I knew how much I love the Divine Muses Oracle. I don't have her other decks yet. And so, I'll look at this one. Trying to get it close so you can see it. So that one should be out in late, I'm going to guess probably late October, November is maybe when we're going to get it. But she says it is in production. It's in production. It's gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Great deck. All right. That's it. And then another one. And another one. The Oracle of Echoes. The reason, now this deck feels also into the summer to me, going into fall and a little bit of fall. But word on the street is my bone stone and earth flesh. And let me tell you, when I do that unboxing, there will be popping of champagne bottles. There will be we are going to toast. That one is, I think it might even be stateside. I can't quite tell by the tracking, but I think it might be. It's just kind of held up in some sort of custom situation, but it is on the way. And I had always planned to have the Oracle of Echoes be the one that I play with the bone stone with until Miss Anna Turian Luna Solar, until she breaks out her Tarot of Echoes, which will be perfect when it's finally ready, because I'll be out of my death year and out of guilt-free, or it'll be guilt-free shopping at that point. I really like this deck. I actually have, I'm not even looking at my tablet. I have the guide, I printed it out and put it in a little spiral bound. I also have my Mildred. Oh my gosh. I cannot. We cannot move on until we talk about my Mildred My Mildred. Mildred's, oh my gosh, Mildred's Secret Pocket Oracle. You guys know this one. It came out in a bridge size this year, but I'm in my depth year. Couldn't justify the expense. I edged it. I have all of the editions. Yeah, this is my deck. I kind of use it year round, but lately not so much this year. I don't know why. I don't know. I actually don't know why, but guess what? It's going to be used quite a bit in the next few weeks. I love this deck. It's got that Lenormand feel. It is an oracle, obviously, but it's got an oracle feel, like a Lenormand look, and then the readings pack a tarot punch, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It just, you can ask predictive, you can ask prescriptive kind of questions. You could go deep, you could go shallow. It just, maybe it's because I have a real strong connection to this deck. Not everyone does. I also, in my book of Oracle guys, I have the Mildred Payne's printed. I hate portrait. I like landscape so I could spread out my thing. Well, and finally, for the last deck, this is the Oracle of Nightmares by Ariana Siegel of White Rabbit Oracle. It's also an indie deck. I think so. A lot of these indie decks that I'm going to be mentioning today may be out of print, but a lot of them are going into a third print run or whatever print run. So that's why I don't feel so bad showing you out of print stuff. I don't know if this one's out of print or not, but she usually goes right back into print. These are kind of hard to pick up on the camera. I use this deck all year long, faithfully. I just wanted to talk about it because it is a good deck for this time. It's really kind of hard to see. Oh, this deck I use for client readings. Let me show you. There's Disappointment. And they don't seem to mind. They don't mind the images. I think at first it can be kind of scary, and I tell them, no, this deck is good. I wouldn't use it in client readings if it was going to be throwing out some mean messages. Here's Wounds. I'm always here for a Wounds card. It's not all shadow. Got possibilities. Kind of freaky, isn't it? Now we can move back to the chat because I want to see, and then I'm going to show off a few of the spring oracles and show off a few tarot. Can't wait to talk about the fall tarot. Let's see. My laugh. I know it's such a mess. It's such a mess, Simon. Oh. I am loving this too, you guys. I'm just reading the comments. Oh, thank you for the update about, okay, I'm going to Instagram after this to check out the update on Anna's cards. Thank you for that tidbit. Is it Angie D? Oh, I like that. Oh my goodness, I'm excited about that. Tribal women, I'm gonna check that out too. I am going back through these later for sure too. Because like I said, gotta update my wish list. Do you know, since I've been on my depth year, my wish list is, I think things like 50 items. It's like so ridiculous. Yeah, she's like, she's like, oh Lord, I thought I was gate crashing someone else's channel. Oh my gosh. Hi, Elaine. That's so funny. Elaine's news and reviews. Oh, nice. Check you out too. All right, guys. I could get lost in the chats for sure. So I'll try to stay focused, staying focused. So before we move to, actually, let me just bust through the tarot real fast because it's not that many. And I only have a few of my spring suggestions. So this one is one I'll be honest, I haven't hardly used. I think 1 or 2 readings. The Haunted House Tarot. It's probably because it's a theme deck, if I'm truth be told. It's Lo Scarabeo by Sasha Graham and Mirko Pierre Federici. Oh, Pierre Federici. You know, they got their little white book. So it is a theme deck, and that could be probably why I haven't used it much. But it's beautiful. I'll say that. And I am going to try to incorporate using it. We'll see how that goes. That's the cool thing. Like, I complain about my death year, but really it's not a big deal because literally there are some decks. I might even have a few I still need to unbox. The Northwest Tarot Symposium blessed me. I was able to get some decks and not even open them yet. And that was in March this year. It is September. Can't believe I have that much willpower. Okay. So it's a lady. Is it Sasha? I don't know. Anyways, it's a theme, a story of this woman, this heroine, if you will. And she's, I don't know, in a haunted house, and I guess it takes you through a story. I'm gonna butcher the story, so don't listen to all this already on it. Check out my unboxing. Isn't that gorgeous? What's cool about Los Scarabeo? Okay, one more. There's the sign. What's cool about it is they're borderless. The tarot size is on point. It shuffles easily and effortlessly for me as a riffle shuffler and an overhand, you know. But sometimes I don't end up using them as much. I'm like, well, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking more about Llewellyn. Because I'm thinking about Los Scarabeo. I'm like, so you see, it just shuffles beautifully. It's new. It's really new. My kids got it for me as one of my Christmas gifts. And I literally, just so I could say, oh, I used it. I used it like 2 times and then I haven't used it since. So let's hope for a fruitful time. And I'm excited because I went to my favorite bookstore. It's called Beers Books in Midtown Sacramento. And they finally, just this past week, opened up where we can go in and browse. And it's been so long, I miss it. But they buy my decks. They buy my secondhand decks. And they told me yesterday they are ready for more. So I'm like, I got to start picking. What are you going to buy from me? Like, what are we selling? So, tarot that I'm going to be using this season. The Afro Goddess Tarot Arcana's first edition. This is the first edition. Again, color palette probably is influencing this. This is illustrated and written by Andrea Furtick. Deliciousness. I wanted badly to get the special edition. It's on my wish list. Missed out on it again. And it's a special edition. So I'm like, I'm really tempting fate now. Look at that gilding. Matte gilding, matte gold gilding. You guys have seen this because I talk about it from time to time. It's a tower. This is the Goddess of Swords, but Queen of Swords, aka Queen of Swords. Here's the page. Daughter. Very vibrant. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys something in a moment. It's a 10 of Swords. Yes. Sorry, water container there. Is that 7 of Swords? Doesn't she look like Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? In my opinion, it just reminds me of my childhood, and that probably dates myself, I'm sure. Here's the God of Swords, King of Swords, and the Magician. And like I said, a lot of times I use this deck throughout the year, but again, it also has a fall kind of feel to me for some reason, and I want to start using it more. But I'm also like, I treat it like a baby because I don't want to damage it. And I can be not a little, I can be really rough on cards because of my riffle shuffling. And sometimes I feel like I'm the same way with keyboard typing too. I'm loud and obnoxious sometimes with it. Like same with shuffling. Really kind of getting that frustration out. Anyways, the Bohemian Gothic Tarot by Alex Yukalev, Karen Mahoney, Baba Studios. It's the only Baba Studios deck I have. I have a little, that's the, how they call it. There's a name for this, but a fancier guidebook. Really nice, actually. Shoe, yeah, obviously this is going to be used. And when I first got my hands on it, I use it all the time. But again, it kind of fell by the wayside as newer decks came. I have the 3rd edition. Look at the moody colors of that deck. If I can get my hands on the Victorian Romantic, I'd die happy. Just kidding. I'd die happy woman. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see where that quest leads me. 9 of Cups. Just so vibrant. And it's an excellent reader. My oldest son, he feels connected to this deck. So when I do readings for him, he wants me to use this deck. I have to use this deck because he feels like the readings are always on point with it, in his humble opinion. And he actually is very much into tarot reading now. So that's been exciting. He reads now all the time for his friends. And that just warms my heart. At least, not all my kids, at least one is into it like I am. But it makes sense because his sun sign is Aquarius like me. His birthday is 5 days before mine, so it kind of makes sense. Next, the Raven's Prophecy. I got this also during the Northwest Tarot Symposium this year. I unboxed it and haven't used it. Guilty. By Maggie Stiefvater. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. Llewellyn definitely has a Halloween feel. You know what I'm saying. And this might be the first deck that I actually consider modifying. And to what I mean by that is trimming, because I edge decks all the time. I got this year because Llewellyn was all of the publishers were at the symposium, but Llewellyn was giving out free decks to all the attendees. So I kind of lucked up and got 2 decks. Well, I got multiple decks, but yeah, Llewellyn hooked us up. And I was happy about that. And I'm happy about this deck. I've used it a couple. I will say I unboxed it, and I actually, because I was picking out decks for today, I did 1 card draw, and I was impressed by the card that jumped. So I'll just say that. But I don't know much about it. I mean, I have a friend who's like, you got to check out the podcast. You got to, there's a book. There's like I think a series even that you need to check out. So I'll do that. I'll check it out. That's Queen of Cups. Not everyone is probably going to appreciate how, like, for example, this is 10 of Cups. They'll be like, what? But I can appreciate it. Like the roses, 10 roses for 10 of coins. It's gorgeous. Shoot, I will be checking that out this season. Let's check the chats, shall we? Oh my goodness, Roman Biscotti, thank you for joining us. Thank you. It's so good to see you, or be in this community with you, I should say, because I can't see you. Oh, Oh no, Kelly Bear. I'm sorry about that. About I edged my triple goddess tarot, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute for my spring decks, but I edged it. I think I ruined it. I was trying to improve upon it because I was trying to avoid having to buy a backup deck because I beat this deck up to a pulp. So I said, well, I'll just edge it. They stuck together and then it just isn't looking right. So I can empathize. I'm just not happy. Now I'm going to really have to go on and just go on down to the metaphysical shop and buy me a new deck. Okay, let's see. No, the last deck, they are leaving the tarot business. I know, Elizabeth, they are leaving. Baba Studios is moving on, is what I heard. And I guess, I can understand. I mean, I know everybody has their reasons, but I mean, based on what they said, it made sense to me that they need to go off and do other creative things. So now their decks are going to go through the roof. So now that's why I said, well, I want the Victorian romantic, but let's see how that pans out for me. Okay. Yes. Please type, thank you, definitely, because I may be missing the questions. So definitely type them in caps. I'm going through them now so I can not miss your questions. Yes. Ooh, you know what? In melodic, that's a good idea. And that's what I plan to do as far as trimming the Raven's Prophecy, because I like to keep the orange bottoms. So if you just trim this part, just this part, and keep this part, that would be that's what I plan to do as well. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to go crazy. This is where it'd be nice to have Boho Tarot like next door and be like, can I pay you? Can I pay you to do to do this? Because I don't know if I can be trusted with scissors. Like, so then finally, the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. You know what's funny is I owned this deck when it first came out. Like, I thought I did an unboxing of it. And so I got this deck again during the Northwest Tarot Symposium, but I sold it last year. And then I had regrets about selling it. And then they had it there. And so I was like, let me get it back again. Let me see if the magic. It was actually it's a wonderful deck. I had wonderful readings with it, but I did sell it. So this will be one that I also will be using this fall to see if we can rekindle that magic. So yeah, I sold it, thought I did. No, I thought I did an unboxing. So I did another unboxing of this one, like a quick little, hey guys, I just got this. I just want to show you, I already have this unboxing, check it out. And then I said, well, before I even put that out, let me see if I actually did an unboxing. I finally found a deck I did not do an unboxing on. And I was like, what? And this was one. So I like this deck a lot. Let me see what comments. You know what, Water Child Tarot? I thought about it. I thought, let me get good at trimming and edging and just be like, send me your decks. And, like, it's like the shoe cobbler, you send me your shoes, I fix them up, I send them back to you, and you just move on your merry way. People probably make a killing. I pay for that service. That's the fool. I would pay for the service of you edging my decks, send it back to me. Even in hard economic times, it would be a thing. Love the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. Me too. This is one of my favorite Six of Swords of all time. Literally. Hold on. Let me see if there's anything else. And then also, even though I know people are really kind of like, they don't like the fire element of like in the air suit in this deck. This is a badass Eight of Swords. So, doesn't it? Look at this Empress. Doesn't she feel so autumn? And yeah, so, oh my gosh, I can't believe all this time has gone by, guys. What? Like, what? All this yammering I'm doing. I'm going to do some honorable mentions. Darkness of Light Tarot. Don't ever use this one like I need to and should. And I'm only going to show a few cards for time's sake because I have other plans for us. First edition. And I know that there's several editions since, but hold on. Make sure I'm not missing questions. Okay. That's the 3 of coins. The Moody deck. And I like that. But some decks I gravitate towards right out the box. And then there's some it's a slow burn. And the Darkness of Light for me has definitely been a slow burn. There's the Page of Coins. Do you all have the Darkness of Light newer editions? And what do you think about it? I have this one and it has the black borders. Clearly, I'm scared to cut borders. I don't know if I would ever cut the borders on this one, to be perfectly honest. But here's the High Priestess. See that? Okay, let's see. So that's an honorable mention. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. And she says, it's incredible. Yeah, the Bone Stone, when I saw some of the people's pictures, like in some of the Facebook groups, I can't believe we're here. Like, it's that moment of like, and it's looking pretty. No one's done any unboxings yet, though. And I'm like, where is everybody? Where's the unboxings? Where's the, we should do, oh, I got an idea. For those of us who have the Bone Stone coming, or when we all get them, we should do like a collective unboxing, like for some of us. Oh my gosh, that would be epic. It would be so epic. We could have like a, I'm going, I don't care what time it is, I'm going to have some champagne and I'm going to have like my unboxing, I have my chosen decks that I'm going to be playing with. Oh yeah, we should definitely have a communal unboxing celebration. Yeah, so we shall see on that. But then again, knowing me, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to contain myself. How am I gonna contain myself to hold it together, to not open it? Then it might, for me, just be a community walkthrough. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, so I also want to mention the Stretch Tarot. I think that one's out of print. All these decks are out of print, but you know what? It's because of COVID-19. I'm a firm believer. It's not because they're never coming back. I also think because these are popular ones. So if I'm showing you decks that are like out of print, bug them, bug the creator. They will probably respond and be happy you think enough of their deck. I do. That's what I do. I bug people. No, I'm just kidding. I don't bug. But if I really like a deck, this is the Stretch Tarot. And I do actually use this deck during this time of year. It's like a thing for me. I'm very much into collage art, collage style art. So when a collage style deck is coming out, I go bananas, like bananas, especially if it's executed really well. Here is the 7 of Cups. It says temptation. You see that? Patience. So it says 7 of Pence, 7 of Pence. Not gorgeous. Okay. 10 of Cups. I'm showing some of my favorites. The Star. Party time. 3 of Cups. Okay. I know I got an unboxing of that deck. So if you check out my channel and you go in the search box and search up like some of these deck names, like the Stretch, you should be able to find unboxings or favorites that I talked about this deck. And also the Zombie Tarot, another honorable mention. It's a cute little guidebook. It's like this, I know it's like some people think it's a themey kind of deck, and it is, but it actually for me reads well, surprisingly enough. Here's 8 of Cups. I'm gonna keep this on the table actually. I think I'm gonna start using it now. Here's Temperance. Got that 1950s era vibe going. Isn't that just fun? Oh, look at this one. Queen of Hazards. And the World. And one more. The Magician. You know, Simon said he likes my laugh. It is so, people like, what? This is my laugh even in corporate America. Like if somebody made me laugh, I laugh. And people are like, what? What are you doing? Having fun. My daughter has the same crazy little laugh too. It's funny. All right. Springtime. The Southern Hemisphere. So, Animal Allies Oracle cards. This little animal oracle actually really surprised me. I bought it on Amazon. Was not expecting to like it as much as I did. Here's the backs. The only thing that I'm not crazy about, because I'm beating it up, is this little guide pull-out thing. And so I'm gonna have to get creative, because look, there's a hole. I had to get creative and like maybe make copies of it while it's still intact and put it in my Oracle guidebook, my spiral notebook. So it's amazingly accurate. It's super cute. I love the art style. And like I said, the only thing is, because it's an animal deck, I do have to consult the guide because I'm not into like animal totems. Like, I don't know, like, oh, like what, I mean, I can guess what I think the sloth means, but what I will assure you is that the meanings are amazing, like that she writes in this little guide. And she gives you aspects of the animal that I wouldn't have even thought of. So that's why it is a worthwhile deck to me. And it's when I know that spring is coming, it is one that I'm like, yes, let's use this one. And I use it in client readings sometimes. But again, because it's an animal deck, I do have to consult the little guide. And when I'm doing client readings, I don't usually have time to pause and look for the meaning. So, but cute deck. Matte, feels good. Y'all probably know all about it. It's no secret. And then we have the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And this is Rock Pool. That one's independently produced, The Animal Allies by Jessica Swift. This one you could use probably all year round, but I tend to use it in the spring since I got it. I don't think I've had it terribly long, at least one full go round of seasons. Here's the guidebook. Beauty, it says. It's got the moon, phases, worm moon, faith. This is beautiful. The unexpected. Blue moon. Queen of the Moon, sovereignty. Flower moon, blossoming. Waning gibbous, self-reflection. Waxing gibbous 2, fear. Beaver moon, creation. And then thunder moon, change. And in the theme of Self-Love September, Waxing Crescent 4, self-love. So yeah, that's one that I would use. Trying to get through because I wanted to one or two more things before we wrap up for today. Soul Trees Oracle cards is another honorable mention for you all. I know all of them are. Like this little guidebook. It's like 80. I don't know how many cards. It's like 80 of them. Yes, 80 of these cards. This is what I also use in the spring. They're trees, but I'm a tree lover. So not everyone's a tree lover, apparently. And not everyone's going to be drawn to this deck. It's got a keyword, it's got a tree, got colors. But sometimes it's all I need to get through a reading. I don't need a lot. And I do use it for client readings and readings for myself. I always feel the need to have to say that because, like, I like to know how people use their cards or who with whom. And resistance. Okay. A couple more. I've got Oracle of Essences, independently produced. Don't know if it's out of, I think it might be in print. Could be wrong. Here's the backs. Gilding, although I beat this deck up. I'm into essences. Yes, definitely put your questions in all caps so I can get back over and see. Douglas fir, wintergreen, spikenard. I won't try to butcher some of these names. And then here's look at the backs. Aren't they pretty? One more. Or two more. Okay. That's enough. All I'm going to do on the tarot is just make my suggestions for my Southern Hemisphere folks. The Numinous Tarot, as soon as spring breaks for me, I go to this deck. It's just, the colors are so vibrant. It's so diverse and so inclusive and so much fun to use. I use it in client readings as well. Actually, no, I do use it for readings for myself, but that's usually because it would be sitting on the reading table. But normally it's for clients. And then my Luna Soul Tarot, which is out of print, but I went to the website last night and they said that for spring 2021, they are planning on releasing another edition. And you see these pretty pastel-y colors. So that's why I wanted to show you for my Southern Hemisphere peeps. And you guys already know, I also use this deck a gazillion times. It's worn out. Yeah. So yeah, with all my decks on my table. So let's check out the chat, see what's going on, see what questions we got, see what comments we got. I do want to say, before we move on, I did get a chance to watch Benabelle's video, and I haven't had a chance to respond or even to leave a comment, but I did want to say that, you know, I don't ever want people to think that my loud voice is trying to bully someone. And I really appreciate what she had to say in her response video. And you know what? She's allowed to say whatever she needs to say in her newsletters to her peeps, to her video responses, as I am also able to say what I need to say on my channel. So it's that dialogue that we're having. And sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's not perfect, sometimes it's clumsy, and sometimes there's big misunderstandings. And so to be able to sit and hear her side of things, I was like, okay, I get it. And a lot of times what happens is when the going gets tough or the conversations start to get difficult, when they start to get difficult, that's when we all run. And that's when we abandon the work, when it starts to get uncomfortable, when you're triggered and you just say, I'm just going to wash my hands of it. No, let's stay and let's continue to work together. And so that's when I wanted to definitely say in this big forum here, is that I didn't get a chance to because it was crazy busy this week, but I will definitely be responding. I don't know if I'm going to do a video, but I'm definitely going to leave a thoughtful, heart-centered comment. So thought I should say that before we even move on. All right, let me scroll up. Scroll up. Yes. A Queen of the Moon. Yes, I know. Yeah. Oh, hi, Hermit's Cave. I see it. Are you talking about the Bone Stone with the dispatch? I know. It's so weird. I didn't even see. Okay, this is my fault about the Bone Stone. I'm not in the group, so I don't know about the updates. So I probably would have a pulse on what's going on with that. I just got an email from Avalon through Etsy saying, here's your tracking number. And I'm like, for real? For real? Like I leapt up out of my bed. I was like, I can't believe it. And people were like, my family is like, what the hell? I I clearly love cards. I clearly love Cuppas. Catching up in cards. Let's see. Yeah, I wonder how many decks in all for Bone Stone. Like how many total have been sold with the ones that were the refund ones, and then she had to sell them, and then we were part of the big first batch. I don't know, but I'm curious. I'm sure she'll have those numbers later. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be waiting a while. Let's see. Ooh, the Monstero. I think that's so cute. This is such a cute deck. I love it. Yes, 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 yes. Looking at caps. Oh, Tight Tribal Woman. I do use Lenormand, not very often. I have not used Kipper yet. Curious though, after watching Sanskrit Blues video on that Kipper deck that's by Red Feather. So my interest is peaked. But yes, I do use Lenormand and I do enjoy it. I actually use Lenormand to look for things. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Hi, Real Simple Earth Jada. Oh my goodness, I love your name. Yay, I know we got to do more of these little cross-pollination moments, right? Yes, the Hermit's Cave, I think it was like 700 decks in total. So it's a lot of decks to push out. I will say, a lot of decks. I could do it. Yes, we wanted to know the mini deck with the teacup. Is it this one, the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle? Did it have a teacup? Oh my God. Oracle deck, I'm sure, with the teacup. Is it this one? I got so many decks, you guys, on the table. I don't even know which one it is. Let me know if that's not the one. Triple Moon Goddess, let me know if that's not the mini deck you were looking at, because literally I have so many decks on here, I can't even tell you. And probably what I'll do is I'll stumble on the card later, this little mini cup, and I'll probably come back here and update the description. The mini cup is, let's see. I don't use coins. Do I use anything else? Yes, I do. I use also my crystal ball. I do scry. I, for a while, did pendulums. I did use pendulums, but kind of moved away from them. I collect them and people give them to me, but I go through ebbs and flows of using that tool. But I definitely scry. I definitely use my little magical die. And I've recently, guys, I can't even believe I'm saying it out loud. I recently started getting into candle magic. So that's been kind of exciting. But tarot and tarot cards, that's been basically what it is. That's my main divination tool. Yay. So thank you, the Hermit's Cave. I thought it was the Mildred's Pains. All right, and Melodic, it was so good chatting with you. Thank you for joining us. We only have a few more minutes together because I could keep you guys here all day, but I won't. You will just have me pop up somewhere else. So what I wanted to do, I thought it would be fun for us to get our favorite deck, our favorite deck. And we're going to ask some questions of our deck. And it's just 3 questions. And you could answer just 1, 2, or 3. Okay. You could answer all 3. And I'm always fascinated about collections, why people collect decks, what's behind it. Are they just mainly tarot readers? And what kind of reader are they? And what kind of collection is their whole body of work? And so I was like, let's play with that a little. So I asked the questions of, it's like a spread, if you will. What kind of collector am I? And then question number 2 is, what kind of collection do I have? And then question number 3, what kind of reader am I? So what I did was I said, well, this is what I think I am, which is, so the kind of collector I am this year because of my death year is 4 of Pentacles. I'm really kind of not hoarding, but kind of like, I've got my collection. I'm not really trying to add to it. I'm just kind of like trying to hold on to it, trying to love on it right here, right there. What kind of collection, if a card would jump to this question, what kind of collection do I actually have? And I would say, oh, the world card. It feels almost complete. It feels strong and diverse and vibrant. And then what kind of reader am I right now? I think my clients would say that I have a Queen of Cups vibe going on. And so then I thought it'd be fun to ask our favorite deck. It needs to be our favorite, our go-to, like if we were married to this deck, it needs to be that deck because we want a deck that really knows our energies well. As I look for my most used deck. And so it's fun to first ask yourself, well, what do I think? What do I think of my collection? What kind of collector am I? Right? And then like I said 4 pence. Let's see what my card says. So I'll leave you with this. Oh, so what kind of collector am I? I am the Empress right now, is what this deck seems to say. The Empress. And I can buy that. I can buy that. And I think that would be because I am in a creative place with my collection right now. Because I have to be in a creative place because I'm not trying to add to it. And I'm trying to really help others to creatively work with their decks. So the Empress makes sense. And I guess it's better than the 4 of Pence, right? What kind of collection do I have? Okay. 2 cards jump, 3 of Cups for me, 6 of Swords. Definitely some escapism going on. Good times. It's a deck with lots of decks actually that I pull out for parties and back when we had those. I've been doing a lot of Zoom connections with friends too, so we get to throw some cards this way as well. And it has been a reprieve for me this year. My collection has been something that with COVID-19 and everything that I can just kind of fall back in love with and kind of release some of that stress, the 5 of Swords that we may have all been experiencing earlier this year. So yeah, that's the kind of collection. And then finally, what kind of reader? And then I want you guys to do the same and put it in the comments. You don't have to answer all of them. What kind of reader am I? Ooh, 9 of Cups. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take 9 of Cups as a reader. Spreading that joy, trying to spread that love, abundance. Abundance, it's not just money. Abundance is like well-being, so it's like wealth, well-being, love, lots of abundance and love. So I'm always trying to help people reach that. So, and then we're going to wrap it up, folks. We're going to just wrap this up because I know it's almost 9:30. What kind of reader am I? What kind of reader? Ooh. So MA says Page of Swords for reader type. I like that. And the reason being, it's like, okay, you're as the reader type. Oh, maybe you're like, you know what I respect is the readers who are like, I do consult guidebooks and I actually am I explore it from a more academic approach with the tarot. I could see that. 10 of Pence. Ooh, curious me, 10 of pence. So let's see, 9 of wands, an eclectic collector, has no actual style that I veer to just yet, but still working on it. That's right. I love that. Elaine's News and Reviews. I love your I love your name, Elaine's News and Reviews. Okay. Yes. I fall in love. So Jen's balanced tarot. I like to be surrounded by lots of decks. I fall in love easily and often. I try to stay controlled and balanced. Stray Cat says, I'm a crow collector. Oh, pretty. I want. I like that. And you can do this also. You don't have to do it with tarot. You could do it with the oracle, this little exercise, if you will. You could do it with the oracle deck. You could do it 2 or 3 decks. Oh my goodness. You are so welcome, Triple Moon Goddess. You are so welcome. I'm so glad you guys joined me today. And you're such a breath of fresh air. I knew I was going to have so much fun. I knew it. I knew this time was going to fly by. Because you guys are awesome. You are awesome. Ooh, Elizabeth, you got the devil. Who else got the devil? To be honest with you, I bet you last year I would have got the devil for sure. For sure. I was like on a roll. And I would have been on a roll this year if I didn't do like pump my brakes with my death year. But the devil isn't always bad. I got the devil last month for my card of the month. And let's just say, yeah, it was some devilish debauchery going on. And it wasn't all bad. You are so welcome, Elaine. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to do this. I'm going to close this out. As you know, Simon always does like a lovely closeout message with the cards, like a closing message. So I'm going to do that. Give us a good send off for the day or evening, wherever you may be. Wherever you may be. Spirit, what is the message for us? Huh? Oh, look what jumped. Judgment. Oh, curious me, you're an intuitive collector. You know what? Before I move on to talk about judgment, yes, lean into your intuition too. Like your intuition will not, like for me, if I really listen to my intuition about purchasing a deck, it's usually spot on. It's when I kind of ignore that intuitive little voice inside my head that's when we get into problems, and then decks I ain't using. Thank you, Billy's Craft Room, for updating the question. Let's see. Billy says, question 3, what kind of reader? So the card that jumped for our closing message was Judgment. And so probably going into the week, there's some big things in terms of predictive. There's some big things happening for us. There's some eyes being looked at onto us, and then us judging situations and us being judged. But there's a rebirth happening. There's something amazing going on. And I love that this was the card that jumped, because we each are going through so much. I think collectively we all went through the tower moment this year at some form or fashion. And to finally now be on the side of now moving to the judgment and in terms of the majors, to get to this point is wonderful, because this is where we can look back and say, wow, look at this year so far, y'all. Look how far we've come. Look at what we've been through. Look at where we're going. And let's set our sights higher. Let's be higher. Let's be better. Let's be stronger together. I love the judgment card. It's going to be a beautiful week next week. I usually do like going into the week card, like little pull. And let's see how the judgment shows up in our life next week. Let's see where it pops up. Let's see where it pops up. You guys are amazing, amazing human beings. I'm just so happy you didn't like make a mad dash to the exit when you realized I crashed the party. I'm so grateful that Simon was so gracious to allow me to hijack his channel for a moment. And thank you. Thank you guys. It's been so much fun. Ooh, you keep adding wonderful comments, so I want to keep talking. See, but measure of the month is the emperor. Really needed some self-authority and dominion this month. I can relate. Oh my gosh, I can relate. Stray. I can relate. I did too, especially in my muggle world. I needed that. Yay. You guys are amazing. Thank you for playing my little game. Keep playing it. Play it out there. It's fun. And you can play this little game, I realize, because my everything changes. So next year I do a spread like this, it probably might be like, oh, the devil. You know, went back to your little devilish ways, girls, after the death year went away. Here you go shopping. So it'll be curious to see when I do the spread again, how it pans out. Big love, guys. Big hugs. Big hugs. Take good care of yourselves. Treat yourself well. It is still self-love September. So in honor of that, today, right now, figure out a way that you can do something really nice for yourself. For sure. I am about to do something. Get into something. All right, guys. Take care. Love to you all. Bye.